You know, for centuries, humans have been captivated by substances that can completely change our perception of reality. And today, after being pushed to the scientific sidelines for decades, psychedelics are making a huge comeback. But this time, it's not just about culture, it's about using them as powerful tools to unlock the very secrets of the human brain.
So that's the central mystery, isn't it? How can one tiny little molecule cause such a massive, profound shift in your mind, in your consciousness? Well, that is the big question, and that's exactly what we're going to explore together. All right, so here's our roadmap. We're going to start with the basics. What are these things? Then we'll dive into what the experience actually feels like. From there, we'll get into the real nitty-gritty brain science, look at their incredible therapeutic potential, and finally take a peek at what the future holds for this amazing field.
Okay, so first things first. Before we go any further, what exactly do we mean when we say the word psychedelic?
Believe it or not, the word itself is actually pretty new. It was coined way back in 1956 by a psychiatrist named Humphrey Osmond, and he put it together from Greek words that literally mean mind manifesting. And honestly, as you're about to see, that is the perfect way to describe what these compounds do.
And what I find so fascinating is why he chose that word. He really wanted something that wasn't loaded with other meanings like hallucinogen. He felt psychedelic was clear, it sounded good, and most importantly, it was a clean slate to talk about how these substances could reveal the hidden depths of the mind.
Okay, so that brings us to the experience itself. What does this mind manifesting actually feel like? What are the kinds of things that people report when they're on a psychedelic journey?
Well, it's really a kaleidoscope of effects. Your senses can get turned up to 11. Colors seem brighter, sounds feel richer. But it goes way deeper than that. Two of the most profound effects researchers focus on are ego dissolution, that feeling where your sense of self kind of dissolves, and these powerful, mystical-type experiences that people often describe as life-changing.
Now, here's something that is absolutely crucial to understand. The experience isn't just about the molecule. It's profoundly shaped by what researchers call set and setting. Your set is your mindset, what you bring to the experience internally, and your setting is your physical environment. Both of these factors can completely change the direction of the journey.
So, we've talked about what the experience is like, but now it's time for the how. How does it all happen? Let's pull back the curtain and look at the amazing biological dance that happens between that tiny molecule and the billions of neurons in our brain.
It really all boils down to this one specific target in the brain, the serotonin 2A receptor, or 5-HT2A for short. The best way to think about it is like a lock. This receptor is a very particular lock, and psychedelic molecules just happen to be the perfectly shaped keys that can fit in, turn it, and unlock a whole cascade of effects.
And this is where the magic really begins. Once that key is in the lock, it sends a signal, a ripple effect, all the way through the neuron. This then changes how that neuron talks to other neurons, fundamentally altering the brain's entire communication network. It literally changes how different parts of your brain talk to each other.
Okay, so this brings up a really interesting problem for scientists, right? We can ask a person to describe their trip, but how on earth do you study these effects in an animal that can't tell you what it's experiencing?
Well, researchers have come up with some pretty clever workarounds. For rodents, they found this one super reliable behavioral marker. It's called the head twitch response. And here's the crazy part. The more a particular drug makes a mouse twitch its head, the more potent its psychedelic effects are in humans. It's this incredible biological stand-in for the subjective human experience.
And all of this incredible science is leading us to the big question. Why does this matter so much right now? Well, it's because this deep understanding of the brain is paving the way for what could be a complete paradigm shift in how we treat mental illness.
Now, we're still in the relatively early days of this research, but the results coming out of clinical trials have been, frankly, stunning. For people with severe depression and anxiety, a single course of psilocybin-assisted therapy has been shown to produce rapid, significant, and lasting relief from their symptoms.
And this is where you really start to see the potential for a revolution in psychiatry. Think about it. Conventional antidepressants often have to be taken every single day, indefinitely. But with psychedelic-assisted therapy, we're seeing potentially long-lasting benefits. We're talking weeks or even months from just 1 or 2 sessions. That's a completely different model of care.
But here's maybe the most mind-bending piece of the puzzle. The therapeutic benefits seem to be directly linked to the intensity of that mystical type experience we talked about. The more profound the journey for the patient, the better the clinical outcome.
It suggests that this isn't just about chemistry, it's about an experience that can fundamentally reframe how a person sees themselves and their place in the world. In a very real sense, the experience is the medicine.
So, where do we go from here? This field is moving at lightning speed. What are the big, open questions that scientists are racing to answer next?
The simple fact is, we are living through a true renaissance in psychedelic research. After being shut down for the better part of 50 years, these molecules are finally back in the lab. And now, with modern brain imaging and genetic tools, we are poised to make discoveries our predecessors could only dream of.
So let's just quickly recap what we've unpacked here. We've learned that psychedelics are incredibly precise tools for exploring the mind. We now know with certainty that their action starts at the 5-HT2A serotonin receptor. This knowledge is opening up a whole new way of thinking about mental health care. And of course, the next big step is for large-scale clinical trials to confirm these incredible early findings.
And that leaves us right on the edge of a new frontier in our understanding of the brain. We're just beginning to scratch the surface. How exactly do these experiences create lasting change in the brain? Could they help us understand the very nature of consciousness itself? The journey is just getting started, which leaves us with the biggest question of all. What other secrets of the mind will these molecules help us unlock?